Good to see you
Yeah,
guys.
enjoying our cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah? Good, very good, very good. How was your day?
Tiring. Today we went to the gym.
Yeah? That's good.
Some muscles.
That's good, that's good.
Yeah,
Relieve
but it's a bit.
tension.
Is that how you feel? But I feel very tired after that.
Well, if you start it takes 2 to 3 weeks to get used to it consistently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but we're building our strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It takes endurance. That's all.
That's the thing.
That's the hard one.
Yeah, I always tell my kid, nothing is as difficult as the word called endurance. You have to do it every day.
Right. But it's the same thing that we teach in the course. Exact same thing. Same endurance. Endurance of the mind, endurance of the awareness, again, endurance of the consciousness, endurance of your own self-empowerment.
So does it mean that when we are not physical anymore, we don't need endurance?
It's a different type of endurance.
Oh.
Completely different. There, you become aware of who you really are.
Yeah, then you'll be willing to do it, right? Because now, even though you endure whatever he's doing, you might not achieve your goal, you know?
Right, right. But that's a choice that he chooses not to make the goal. It's a choice.
Oh, okay.
Everything's a choice. And there's no good or bad choice. It's just a choice. That's why we never try to put a label on things. We just say these are experiences because these experiences are temporary.
Yeah, and things can change, right?
Things can change. And the way they change is your vibration, attitude, how you perceive things, how you look at things.
I really admire my mom because when ever since I was young, my mom would always tell me, be careful with what you say. Because what you say comes true. And then I was like, oh.
But she was right.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, and that was a good training because look where you are now if that wasn't planted as a seed. It might have been somewhat of a fear, but you took it to heart and you applied it where I better watch what I say, which means you had to automatically watch what you think.
Yeah, true.
So now it's easier for you to have mastered shifting your mind from negative to satisfaction or positive very easily because you've already trained your mind to focus, to be aware.
True.
That's why it's easy as you for God to manifest very easily.
Talking about that, certain things are not that easy.
They're very easy. You just choose to believe that they're hard. Think about it. When I asked the question yesterday about $11.5 million, you and Sudi were the only ones, and myself, who raised their hand. Everybody else was kind of like hesitant. Remember?
Yeah, because that's what I want.
But then when I said $100, everybody's hand went up.
I was going like, that's a piece of cake.
That's a piece of cake. You say, I spend that easily, and I manifest that easily.
Yeah.
When it comes to that decimal point and those 6 zeros, people get fearful because they think it's beyond their comprehension, it's beyond their value, it's beyond their paycheck, it's beyond their job, it's beyond all these things, so it's unattainable.
Correct.
So
but we know that there's no limits.
No limit. Right. So what people do is say, well, I can't get that, Pastor. And at that point, it becomes impossible.
Yeah.
The question should always be, how can I achieve this?
Mm-hmm.
But if nobody ever takes that question, then it will never get to the 5 steps of what you're wanting or what you're desiring.
I also think that the main thing is that they cannot imagine what they will do with 2.5 million.
Right.
And we all have dreamed what we're going to do, what kind of projects we're going to do about it.
Correct. And you're right. And a lot of them are, and nothing wrong with paying off your debt, but most people, when you say 11.5, it's instead of the enjoyment of the creation of it, they look at it as, I need it for the getting out of debt, so now I can be satisfied.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? So they have to have that substitute to justify satisfaction for the $1 million. To justify it, other than, wow, I created it and it was a great experience. Now, what can I do to help humanity with it? Because if I can create that, I can create anything. That should be the mindset. So then there should be no impossibilities of what you could create. Hello, Anson, how are you?
Hi.
Good
I
to
just
see
got
you.
home.
No worries, no worries. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you today.
You guys are gonna see me eat, okay? So
Take your time. Take your time. You're all good.
Just off your microphone. I don't need to hear you, man.
And if you're gonna chew with your mouth open, mute the video.
I'll remember to do that, or else you'll be hearing me eat all day.
That's okay. Well, thank you for coming. It's good to see you, friend. So that was kind of the gist of when we talk about how to manifest, which is a good question before we even get in our lesson. But when you're getting into the intentions of that number of 11.5, people don't realize you have to have $11.5 million. And they don't know how to, 1, fathom it, 2, comprehend it, 3, bring it into a reality. Because they make it too hard. That makes sense?
Yeah. I always think that sometimes we limit ourselves is because we make our needs very, very small. or you can say I'm greedy. That's it.
Absolutely. No, and I'm glad you said that, because that is a great example of what we've been teaching, because that is what we call lackful perception or limiting believing. And a lot of it comes with education, culture, environment, self-believing, numerous of things, but it all has to do with that type of believing, understanding. Or in other words, if I see my great grandmother struggle and struggle and struggle and make life hard and very poor and no education, and then I seen my mother very poor and struggle and no education, what is the likelihood of me getting a good education and coming out of poverty?
Okay, this is the thing that happened in my family. I watched my grandma, my mom herself. She's not educated, so she had a hard time. But she was also the one that could tell me, you are the last one, okay? No, I'm the last one, and you will be the new beginning. The one who is educated and then have good life and blah 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 blah.
That's the change. Here's the difference. In most cultures, they don't say that. You're going to be just like your father. Something negative or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least he had wisdom to say, you know what? You're going to be better than myself. And a lot of parents want that and expect that, but don't know how to express that because of the stress of being poor, the stress of not having enough, the stress of how do I give my inheritance, or how do I pass the inheritance type thing. So you were able to turn the corner with your thinking. So she told you 2 valuable things, or several valuable things. Watch your words. So now you had to control your thinking. Don't be poor, get education. Education, and now you're not poor. Udi can testify that, because every time you get the urge to go shop, he goes, oh my God.
Let me look at the price tag first.
Let me look at the price tag, right?
No, you
Right,
have
right,
to
right.
look at the price. You say, just give it to me.
See? But it's that type of teaching that needs to be taught and encouraged and passed on. Because how many people do you know that their mother didn't or father didn't tell them that, and they're still poor, and now you see what they call generational curses or generational karma. It passed down from mother to father to son, daughter to all the generations, and you can see it. Just like cancer, just like death. People say, oh, well, my father passed away at 64, so I guess I'm going to pass away at 64 of the same thing.
Okay.
And they take on that mentality, and then when it's time, they die.
Oh, just because they say it themselves?
They've been believing that when they turn 64, something's going to happen. So now all of a sudden they get some life-threatening disease, and then they die around that age.
Oh, wow.
Not all cases, but majority of the cases. Because we can't change people, can't change the world, but we're great influencers. And if you notice, your children have watched you from the day they were born, and they begin to mimic you. That is a form of psychological behavior. So they'll mimic what you say, they'll mimic what you do. They'll even mimic how you tilt your head or similar gestures, you know what I mean? These create certain energies and certain cycles that are passed on. And if they're not corrected, then you have those type of what people would call karma or bad luck. And then about why am I in this life, and this life sucks, and oh, I can't wait to die, and why me, or all these things.
Well, but we try. I know it's hard, you know, it's hard, but I always believe that things will always work out, right? Somehow. So I always tell my kids, don't think too much, you know? And then we like to use the example like Auntie Mel. She's always thinking, and look.
Right. But think about what you learned and what you passed down.
Well, but sometimes it's very hard to explain to her why is it that when I don't think, but my things work out when she plans so much.
Because you're the creator of your own reality.
Yeah.
So she all the.
She influenced you, kind of like put the breadcrumbs or the trails for you to follow. It was up to you to pick up the crumbs or not pick up the crumbs. Certain crumbs you picked up, certain crumbs you went, I don't like this crumb.
Oh. I don't know. I used to tell her that you think too much, and so you stir a lot of things in the universe, and then they'll come back and get you because you have to work on them. I said, go to sleep. And then she said, but after you sleep, the problem is still there, right? I said, yeah, but it gets solved.
Right. But then they looked at, there is what we call the egoic consciousness, where the logic wants to solve the problem.
Yes.
And it's unsolvable because they go sleepless nights, they get headaches, their body goes through all kind of transformations, they stress everybody else around, they tell stories that doesn't help the situation.
Correct.
So when you tell them something that's the truth, to them it sounds crazy. It sounds impossible. What do you mean? The problem's still going to be there. Yeah, but the solution will be there also, so you can take care of the problem. I don't understand. Go meditate and pray. What is that going to do, Pastor? Normal response.
And then I will go to sleep. You know, I'll go take a nap. And then she would know and say, okay, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to do my thing and blah, blah, blah. And then when I wake up, after I woke up, she's going to tell me like what's her plan. I was going like, you don't need that.
Yes. She will plan the whole night through while Lily just go and sleep and don't care about it.
You've learned to release and surrender.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to explain to her that I'm also working, you know.
Right. And you are on your own journey. She's on her own journey.
Yes.
And sometimes people try to mirror other people's journey. It doesn't work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People see it manifest quickly and easily, and they go, why come I can't do the same? I did everything you told me to do.
Yes.
Well, that's,
I think it's also, yeah, I also think because maybe she tends to worry. I always told my sons that, you know, worry is kind of like, you don't have, it hasn't happened yet.
right.
Okay? You don't know whether it's going to go towards the left or towards the right. You don't even know yet. You always worry that, oh, what happened if it goes to the left? What happened if it goes to the left? I said, but it hasn't gone to the left yet.
Right. And we know people who, and that's a great point, they worry themselves to death over left or right, and nothing has happened. But I'm glad you brought that up, because here's what's important. They don't realize that when they build up that type of confusion, the negative always comes out of that.
Yeah.
The worst always comes out of it, because they put the worst case scenario into it before. Remember, I always use the example that nobody trusts God down the dark hallway. I'll turn the light on and then I'll go down there. And that's the same thing. I have to know what's down there first and the outcome, and then I'll trust it to go.
No, but sometimes the thing is this: your worry tends to be the actual outcome because you thought so much about it.
Right. And you create the reality.
Yes.
That worry. And here's the thing: when you worry and get in fear, you stop every prayer. It stops.
Yes.
Now we know. See?
Nothing.
When you worry, you stop all the prayers, all the positive things.
Every prayer that you've ever prayed stops. That's why nothing gets in. That's why people complain, oh, I've been praying, but they've been worrying, and it can't get in because they're in the way of step 2.
Okay.
Worry means I'm trying to do God's job.
Yes.
I'm trying to fix it in my own human strength, not knowing.
Yes.
So now they worry. So now every prayer that they've ever prayed that has not been answered stops.
That actually is pretty interesting because, Mom, you know the ceremonies that we do each time when people want to pray with us, where we say that 100% sincerity gives you 100% results.
Right.
1% of sincerity gives you 1% results, and no sincerity gives you no results at all.
Correct. Absolutely. And that is where they get that philosophy from, is really from the law of attraction. That's from the laws we had taught, I believe, a couple of months ago. But that's actually where that comes from. It's still the same law of attraction. What you put in is what you get out.
Yes.
And that's where people are not understanding how it works. So they'll put labels on it and call it karma. They'll put it in. If that's what it want to be, then that's okay for you to call it that. But what Anson said is 100% correct. And this is why people always say, my prayer didn't get answered. I'm still waiting on God to answer that prayer. I'm still waiting. You're going, and then they complain or get jealous when they see you flowing and they see your prayers being answered and they see you in the flow of it. How you manifest it fast? How do you do that?
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't tell people I pray. I don't tell people what I ask for, but when you appear, of course, you know, I know, right? It's the work of the universe. I'm just asking. And
here's the thing: even though you don't verbally say I pray, the vibration tells everybody around you pray. They know it without you even saying it because they feel it.
I know. I try to share with Melissa, you know, but I find it very hard. But thank God, you know, you're here and then you can explain to her and she kind of listen. Because there are many times when after you explain to her, her response was what? That's what Lily told me.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
I'm the confirmation.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
You've been teaching her for years, and I'm just the confirmation.
no, I guess I wasn't doing a good job,
No, you were being a good friend.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that I try to do the work for her, you know, because I know she doesn't get the idea, so I try to do it for her.
You do it for them.
Yeah.
Just like if you're hungry, I cannot eat on your behalf, right?
Right, exactly. We use a phrase that goes, I can't become poor to make you richer, and I can't become sicker to get you healthier.
Correct.
Possible.
Yes.
I have to be rich to help you get rich.
Yes.
In other words, I have to already be in that state of being. And people do this with their being. They don't know how to be. 1 minute they're happy, yay, I get it, Pastor. Next minute, when it doesn't work the way they want it because they want it right now, instantaneously. And I go, you just learned this a few months ago, almost a year ago. I've been doing this for 40 years.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to get through all this to learn this. I just didn't wake up and it magically happened. It was a practice. And this is where we try to build a habit. So we try to use the words over and over and over and over. That way they're consistent, but not only consistent, that builds the foundation of who you are also. So when we say you're limitless and ceaseless and have all power, now you begin to go out and start believing that and begin to create in that. Because now there's no resistant thinking. Worry is resistant thinking of the unknown.
Yes.
I don't want to think unknown. I like to think, what is it that I know? I want this thing done. That's it.
And here's the difference between you and how most people think. Look at what you said and look at what people say. You create and decree what you want. You declare what you want and you believe that, and it's so. Look at the certainty. Look at the desire. Look at the intention. Look at the emotion. Look at the vibration. Look at everything that you put into that. Just with those simple words. Simple words with so much power. Vice, I can't do anything you just said. That's what most people will do. 7.5 million. Yay! Everybody went. And the other people went like this.
How can that be? Those are the things.
It was such a block. And I tell people come, oh, Pastor, I can manifest cars easily and quickly, but I can't manifest a house. Why? Because you believe you can't get the house. No, it can't be that simple. Yes, it's that simple. You're in the way of you getting what you want because you don't believe for whatever it is. You judge yourself in error. Where Lily goes, this is what I want. This is how I want it to look. This is what it's going to feel like. And ooh, it's going to be good. Yes. Honey, I got the credit card. I'm going shopping.
And then he's going to go like, oh, no.
And off you go.
Yeah.
Just like Anson manifesting the house. He's knowing what he's wanting and he's experiencing, even though there's a little bit of anxiousness, a little bit of the unknown, but he's still stepping forward with, wow, I've seen 3 houses of possibilities, of opportunities as a first-time homeowner. Now I can get out of this apartment. Now I can start a new chapter in my life and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's because of what y'all instilled in him and it's what he's received for himself and built on a platform.
Yeah, go for it.
Big difference, absolutely. And he's a great creator also. All your children are good creators.
Okay.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, so he manifested the car just last December.
Yeah, I remember.
It will be pretty soon. Pretty soon.
See, now he could put the car in the house.
In the house.
He can have a garage.
Yeah.
He can decorate it any way he wants.
Mm-hmm.
The freedom.
Yeah.
Because most young men his age are not able. Most of them don't get their houses until they're 39, 40s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because half of them are still in debt because of college loans here in the States.
Yes. Yes.
So because of that debt to loan ratio, they can't go get a house.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because they still owe a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Student loans out here is like, wow, extremely high.
Mm.
One of the cheapest colleges is probably going to be in the low 60,000s.
Yes.
Huh?
Just
60?
to graduate. Yeah.
Wow. And then you plus interest. Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's just for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So do that 60,000 for 4 years on a low end college, by Cambridge or Oxford or Yale, one of those big names.
Yeah.
4 years, man, you'll be paying that half your life until you're dead.
Uh-huh.
That's like $150,000 debt already.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you got $150,000 debt, and then you come out of high school or college and graduate, and you only make minimum wage. You're not paying that off in the natural.
Maybe 10, 15 years.
You're paying that off for 30 years like a house loan.
Wow. Yeah.
So America is not that great.
So either you go to college or you go and buy a house.
Which one do you want? And if you get both, you better make sure that you have the job to support that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to have at least 4 times that of what the house is.
Yes.
Mm. Well, we have been planning to buy a house. It's just that in Vancouver it's so expensive. Like it takes probably about 2 million.
Mm.
So when Anson was saying that he wants to stay in Prince George for at least a few more years to get enough working experience and whatever he needs.
Right.
So that's why we think that it's a good time for him to buy a home there.
Absolutely. So awesome. Any questions before we get in? This is a short lesson, so it'll be very, very quick.
Pastor, I have a question.
Absolutely. Go for it.
So recently I just watched a video. It's the video that I shared to you, Mom. And it's about an American who incurred up to 240 grand student loan debt after completing his master's.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, he refuses to the day to pay any student loan debt. He only pays the bare minimum of $35 per month, which is not accounting the interest and everything. So his debt actually grows and grows. And the first thing that came into my mind was, holy crap, are people this dumb? But at the same time, I am dead scared for my friends who are also having this mindset.
Right. Right.
And so I watched this during the break time of my work. Not to tell everyone that I'm procrastinating, but which I did a little bit. But I then had a hard time trying to get back to my work because I was stuck in the mindset of like, how can I help these people?
Right.
How can I influence them? Because I know we're great influencers, but at the same time, some of my friends are not even where I am. They're either in Vancouver, they're either in the other side of Canada, they're either in Singapore. Mm-hmm. And I know for a fact that to them, money is living paycheck by paycheck.
Right.
Right. I know to them, debt is inevitable because of their education or their mortgage. And therefore, they just want to get by day by day. That's all they can have. And they don't have anything like an emergency saving or anything like that. So my thought succumbed into a point whereby I was so enclosed in that thought that I have no solution how to help them somehow, even though I tried explaining to them through Messenger, through Facebook, or wherever it is, or probably giving them examples how to get out of it. And yet they refuse to budge because they say, oh, but I haven't gone to Japan yet. And I'm like, you just graduated and you're trying to go to Japan? Like I wish I can do that, but I'm not doing that because I know I don't have the money for it. But they have the money, they think they have the money because they have a credit card that says they can spend 20 grand. And I'm like, that is not the way to spend.
That is not the way to spend at all.
Yeah.
That's further debt.
And I was scared for them, right? And I guess the first step that I want to ask is, should I still continue influencing them while I still have that negative mindset, or do I need to change myself first, telling myself like, look, they will accept, and then eventually then I can speak to them again and they can listen to me better from there. Because I'm always reaching to a point where I am nearing at a panic stage for them, as if I was imagining that what if I was in their shoes and I was thinking like that.
Think like this.
Okay.
Just like you went into that mindset of watching the video and then looking at the reality of how that is.
Hi.
And hello, Melissa. Tell a better feeling story without the facts for your friends. And I know that sounds weird and crazy, but it'll help you change the mindset, and it'll also help you give the solution to plant that seed to them. Because they're not going to understand it right up front, because you're much further than they are in terms of where you are spiritually and how you have grown and what was planted in you. So here's the biggest thing we would like to say, and we understand the compassion, but get rid of the word, I'm scared for them. Instead say, I'm happy for their journey, and it's a great journey for them, and they'll learn on the way, and I hope that they'll see something in me that will influence their mind, or something along that line. But what it'll do, it'll send the vibration to them, and it'll also change your mindset of not getting in the fear of with them, because when you're in a scared mindset, you can't influence them at all. Because you're thinking the worst case scenario for them, which in other words, you putting the facts in, and we're not saying ignore the facts, but don't keep pointing at the facts because it doesn't make it any better. So what we say is shift the mindset of, you know what, this is their experience, and I'm here to support them in their experience. You see what I'm saying? That sounds a little bit more comforting than I'm afraid for them. Because when you say afraid for them, would you put it in life or death terms in those words? No. We would change the words from, instead of saying I'm afraid from it. In other words, we know you're concerned for them and their well-being. How would you say that in a better way? Find a better way to say that, and then that's when the influence will come from you to them. And be patient with them, because it's going to take them years to get this, because some seeds fall on hard ground. Some seeds fall on thorny grounds with weeds, and they get choked out. Some seeds get into the good soil and they produce. Keep planting the seeds. Keep having that same compassion, that same love for them, and then continue to say, you know what other way can I feel about them, even though I know they're in this situation? What better way can I, you know what I'm saying? Does that kind of help or answer a little bit?
Yeah, I think you can also try to make yourself as an example. You know, you being a person who are free from this debt, so you yourself have to make sure you clear all your student loan debt that you have and everything, and then you can tell the story as, oh, you know how good I feel when I'm debt free.
Right, exactly. Absolutely.
Something like that. By then your thoughts will be, oh, you know, the good things of being debt free, and then you use that good feeling to influence your friend, rather than just tell them you are wrong. You know, you're gonna go down, you're gonna be forever in the debt, etc. You give them an example of the opposite. Oh, I'm debt free and I feel good.
Correct.
Something like that.
And and I'm gonna add on to Sudi. Great example. That is picture perfect. To add on to him, picture your friends debt free. Picture them debt free in your mind, and what that would look like, and what that would feel like, and what that could experience for them. That way, you won't get into a panic. You won't get into where you want to get into fear over a situation that you can control for their journey. Because you have to remember this: they caused that into their reality. They wanted to go through that experience.
Yes.
Why would I go through debt? So you could be a god and get yourself out of debt. People get in debt in the natural, but don't know how to get themselves out of debt in the spirit.
Yeah.
Everything is done in the spirit world before it's done in the natural world. So the spirit world is more real than the natural world, and everything that came in this natural world came from the spirit. So once you do that in the spirit, then as Sudi said, you change that vibration from your standpoint of, man, it feels good to be debt free. And you can take the same attitude with your home. Once you get debt free on your home, man, I am debt free. I own my home. You see what I'm saying? That right there influences people go, man, I'm jealous of Anson and I want to do everything he did because I'm jealous of him. And I'm going to try to keep up with him.
Yeah.
Bad influence per se, but good influence because they're acting on it. If they act on it, they'll create their own pattern in their own way.
Yeah.
You have to remember this, Anson, also, a lot of their thinking comes from mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, culture, school. All these things are influenced into how they're thinking now. They graduate, but then they want to go to Japan and still got $1,000 loan and don't have a and you go, are you insane? And they're going, I'm living the good life, man.
Yeah. But on borrowed money.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, this is what begins to happen. Hey, Anson, you think I could borrow a couple of dollars?
It actually happened, and when I visited Singapore at one point in time, he was like, so my paycheck won't come in tomorrow, and I'm trying to treat you dinner. Can you treat me dinner tonight? And I was like, I thought I'm the one that's visiting you, treating you. Why am I treating you for me visiting Singapore?
Exactly. I was like, got this backwards. But it's that mindset. But once you understand it from that point of view, you won't look at it from a scared point of view. You'll say, you know what, this is a great experience for me, and I'm happy to be in this journey with them. Instead of giving them negative advice, you're always constantly giving them positive advice, which is good. At one point in time, it's going to sink in. It really is, because here's why. They care about you. And because they care about you, it might not be 2 years, 3 years. Eventually, it will sink in where they go, man, I wish I'd have listened to you 5 years ago.
No.
I have people come back, Pastor, I wish I would have listened to you. Who are you? It was me in 2013. 2013? Years ago, you know how many people I had talked to in 6 years? But I never say, well, I told you so. I said, well, at least you got it. Better than never.
Yes.
And continue to influence from that point, other than, well, if you'd have did it sooner.
Yeah.
Yips. And now I'm big-headed and I'm arrogant, and now I'm the narcissist because of that.
Right.
You see? So that's a great way to influence them. And then as you meditate and as you're praying, send them so much love. Send them so much love. That's really the biggest thing that you can really do to help them. Tell Melissa that all the time. Send them love, send them love, send them love. Send them love.
I will send you love, Melissa.
See? All right. Let's get into this really quick. Any questions on what we've been talking about? Does that help anybody, or everybody good to go? All right. How's the toe?
Good, better.
All right. All healed up?
No, not yet, but a little bit. A little bit more.
Take your right hand. Take your right hand. Grab your toe.
Oh,
Listen to me.
good. Yeah.
Grab your toe.
Yeah.
Say, I'm healed. Say it out loud.
Oh, I'm healed.
Say, I'm healed.
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 It's done.
Thank you.
No, say it's done.
Done. It's done.
Done.
It's
done.
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 It's done.
Done.
It's done.
Done.
And so it is.
And so
Okay.
So it is.
All right. Take a deep breath. Breathe out some love. We are one. Open your eyes.
One.
All right. When you go to bed, take that into your thought. That's all I want you to repeat to yourself. Nothing more, nothing less. You'll
is,
see.
is there a magic number of how many times for each phrase?
Yes.
What?
Every number has significant meanings.
Well,
Every conjoining number that's a sequence of numbers causes the vibrations of things that's in the earth that you call creation
Okay.
or chaos.
So how many times?
It's up to you. You're God.
I like 8.
Yeah.
8 is the number.
It is.
Answer also.
He's 8.
Okay.
Why do you like 8? It's the
What?
infinity, it's the infinity number.
I know.
8 is your number for manifestation. It's abundance. It's prosperity.
Oh, so when the Chinese say 8 is good, it's because of that?
Yeah. That's where your money is. I told several persons like Sister Williams and several people to write the number 888 on a piece of paper, fold it up and put it in their wallet. So when you hear your testimonies of all the money, the $50,000 and the $20,000 and all this money, it's because of that. And she forgets.
Oh,
And she goes, Pastor, we don't remember how we did it. I said, we used the 5 steps. But you also took that and you believed in it.
yeah.
Pastor, I got that. I put that in my wallet, and I send love to my wallet and my bank account.
And don't doubt it. See, here's your problem. Pastor, where is it at? I need it right now. I need it 2 weeks ago. Grow.
But
No, Pastor, I didn't do that. I just did.
I'm just kidding.
I send love to my bank account.
And you're going to see an increase. We promise. We promise.
yes, we are sending love to you, your account too.
Absolutely.
Okay? All the 8s are coming in.
8. But here's the thing.
Melissa's account, okay?
Once you go through this hump, you know what I'm talking about? Your money will flow. It can't flow because of the mindset of the uncertainty.
Okay. All right.
But you've already put it out there. You already planted it, and it's coming.
Okay. It's coming.
It's coming. Say it's on the way.
Yeah.
I love calling things into existence. People look at me, I'll be in the middle of the square. It's on the way. They're like, oh, what is wrong with them?
What's on the way?
What is on the way? You crazy? And I say, my blessing. And they go,
What?
oh, what's that too? All right. Real quick, we'll get into this really quick. It's only 2 pages.
Okay.
And, it's very, very simple. Basically, it's in the same lines of how we show you how God was created, how the soul was birthed, and now how separation was born, and now the creation of the physical universe. So it's kind of the extension of what we would call, or the scientists would call, the Big Bang. And we explained yesterday that that is just a consciousness, and not out of pure matter, but out of pure consciousness. So we'll take that a little bit further in terms of when we say creation of the physical universe, also think like this. This is the creation of my physical things. Because all of this is connected to the 5 steps. In this multidimensionality, which is still pervaded as light itself, condensation continues. And here your scientists begin to tap into it, so you can see how many steps removed they are. But here light begins to condense into a particular particle of matter. Again, the explosion occurs as the one basic atom explodes in the Big Bang. And the multitude of bodies, of planetary bodies, including your central sun, of your tiny little universe is birthed. What we mean by that, there is an infinite number of universes. You can't count them. Make sense? All of are in every one of those dimensions. All the difference is the space and time in human terms. It would be like taking the 2 pieces of paper that are identical and placing them on opposite ends, but now you're sharing with the same power in different spaces in the now. So we say that because when you have a deja vu, that's what you're experiencing. When you go to a place that in your mind you've never been to in that time, but it feels very familiar to you, that is part of what we're talking about. Okay, this is going to give you an idea. The physical universe of which you're a part of as a human being is a vast beyond comprehension, yet is a tiny speck of dust. It is a tiny speck of light floating seemingly freely like a tiny drop of beverage that seems to have separated itself from the body of beverage and is unaware of the multidimensionality of radiant light and spirit and God in which it floats, out of which it has been given its very existence. You are therefore not outside of spirit. You are held lovingly, your whole physical dimension, in the center of spirit. In other words, when the physical body dies, the spirit goes directly back to God, back to spirit, back to self. As this condensation continues, what you have been told to call life begins. Conditions are set up, emerging from what? Pure chance? Hardly. It emerges out of pure potentiality, the power and the perfect intelligence to create. This is very important. Your potential is more important than your desire to create. They have to work together, but it's your potential that gives you the power and the intellect or intelligence to create that you're creating. So when Lily says, this is what I want and this is why I want it, that becomes that. Because there's no resistance of what you're wanting. You're clear about it. That makes sense? So your potentiality or your potential is everything. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Once you understand your potential, now you understand your power. Now the desires become desirable. And not, oh my God, why did I create that? And oh, it's ugly, and now it's broken, now it doesn't work, and oh, I'm gonna just give this handy down to this.
Yeah, true.
Complain about it. Although now that creativity is expressing itself more and more out of fear, not out of pure joy. And this is where a lot of people always use the but pastor and then wonder why it doesn't happen, because they said but after. And I said it's okay to say but don't say but in fear. If you're going to use a but, use a positive but at least. There's such a thing.
I guess if you don't have enough faith or confidence, You will be fearful of what is going to happen, right? Let's say you ask for 11 million. To a lot of people say, what am I going to do with that money? And we go like, give it to me. Give it to me.
I got to play 1,000 lottery tickets. I got to go gamble at the casino. I got to work 100 jobs. I got to sell. People think like that. Instead of, how can I make that happen? What's my first step?
Yeah.
Instead, you hear every excuse on why it can't get done. Right? And then here's the other thing. It's everybody else's fault on why they can't get it.
Then you don't get it.
You don't get it because all of it is out of fear. It is like taking a note of a flute and muffling it slightly so it has a different quality. Yet it is still pure energy, for what can fear be but energy? Just as love is energy, compassion is energy, sadness is energy, anger is energy, anxiety is energy. Everything that we've ever told you is all energy. It's what you put on it that makes it energy. Your energy. Do you see? Fear is just an energy and nothing more. In itself, it is perfectly neutral. For all events are neutral. And this is where it's hard for people to get in a place of neutrality. Melissa, you're really good at being in a place of neutral. Being in a place of neutrality. That is one of your greatest gifts that I've seen out of anybody is your place of neutrality. Once you're in that place of neutrality, now, if you're there and there's not a whole lot going on and there's no resistant thinking, now there's clarity. Now the solutions to problems come. But if you're in a place of neutrality and you go in neutral, think about your car. If you're driving your car, right, and you go 60 miles an hour and you take it and push it in neutral, how much momentum happens to the car on a straight road? It loses speed and momentum over time. That's the same thing with your creating. And it goes the same thing with fear. When you're in that place of neutral, think about this. When you're neutral, things begin to slow down and you begin to see things more clearly, don't you? To the point where if it's so neutral, it does what? Stops. So now if I can stop all resistant thoughts of thinking, now I shift my perception and now I change my vibration.
Then I can set it into positive.
Now I can turn the GPS and put the car back in drive and go 100 miles an hour and not hit no cars. Make sense? And fear, being merely a dance or play of energy itself, must be entirely neutral event until something arises to perceive and experience it differently. And what is that? The birth of the ego consciousness. And that's all fear is. And we'll talk about Sunday, fear has taken its final form, and then we'll talk about that more in depth on page 190. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns? Anybody need any help, anything? How does your toe feel, Melissa?
Huh?
How does your toe feel?
Oh, better, much better.
Yeah, so you couldn't even think about that toe while we were talking. See,
I have been massaging it, and I feel that it's much better than earlier on.
Yeah. Wait till in the morning. You're going to have such a great praise report.
Yes, yes.
You'll be further along. All right. If you need any help with anything, email me. Let me know. Meet me in the spirit. I will see you and I will hear you. I will answer you. I love you all. Have a great week of creating. And this week, I want you to create your own affirmations.
Oh. Okay.
Do you want me to help you with the affirmation? I can help you.
No, I have already done it, Pastor.
You already did it? Okay.
Okay. Every day, I read that affirmation that you gave us.
I come in this day.
And then I am full of positivity. My thoughts are positive. My actions, my speech are all positive.
All right.
And then I trust. I trust that. I trust that God is with me because God and I are one.
Good.
Wow.
I like that one. Good job.
I'm full. I'm full of gratitude. I'm full of gratitude. I'm grateful that I'm alive.
Mhm.
I'm healthy. Every cell in my body is healthy.
Yes, yes, yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Vibrant, energetic. I'm sorry. That's your creation. I'm sorry. I want to add on to it. It was so good.
So then I also say that whatever I do today, whatever I think today, whatever I say today is right because I and God are one. This is
Yes.
what God wants me to do.
Yes.
Wow.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
So I have been doing that for a few days.
I like
Uh, I see that it's I feel that I'm changing.
it. Mhm.
My mindset is changing. But of course sometimes it can go to a negative, but quickly pull it back.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the secret. Catch it before it gets other thoughts. Catch
Right.
Then things become the angels are more responsive.
They're talking to you.
Yeah. And then I get tired because I have to look what they're talking about. It's always with the 3-3 and the 5-5.
Ascended master and major changes, major positive changes are coming. Here's what we want you to do. When they're talking to you and your busy day, get your journal and just write it down. That way you can go back into it later.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
For us, we don't look for numbers. For her, she look for numbers because I told you she's logic.
I'm a numbers guy too. I see numbers all day.
No, because you look at the clock.
I know, but to you, numbers are more appealing. Okay, Melissa.
Right?
For me, it's dollar sign.
Still numbers.
Yeah, but I'm not so into it because it will come when it's supposed to come. It will come.
You know, today something great happened. Okay, so Stanley and Selena went to sell, recycle the bottles, bottles and the cans, and they got $6.23. And so in the evening, Selena went to Walgreens to get her shot, right? Her shot. Then she went to McDonald's, and guess what? They spent $6.23.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So it's given.
Yep.
So Stanley was saying, "Oh, he's amazed at the numbers."
633. Equals some numbers. They're all connected.
Yeah, 623, and he spent exactly 623 on the dot.
Yep. Those numbers, all those numbers mean things, but here's the secret. We call those numbers to ourselves when you see them. It's called synchronicity. That's all.
Synchronicity.
And even though those numbers aren't in even numbers, it's the sequence of why you looked at the number. You paid attention to it. So there was a message in that number. For me, I'll see 1111, I'll see 333, 555, 444, 222, 111, or whatever.
Yeah, but Anson, it does not have to be numbers. It can be anything.
It could be anything. It could be a song. I'll think of a song all night and wake up and go, why did I think of that song? And then turn the radio on and that song started playing. That's a form of synchronicity.
Yeah. Like sometimes in my mind at home, I have this song playing, and then when I get in the car, it's this song.
Different song. Normally that song will pop up after if I think about it long enough. or a certain color or smell or a place. All those things are synchronicity to give you it's really to say, hey, slow down for a minute and take notice. Be aware.
Yeah.
I think for me it's smell,
That-
because I feel like a lot of things I'm starting to notice a little bit of what I seem to be getting that's positive. Before that, about 5 minutes or 30 minutes before, I smell sandalwood.
oh yeah.
So the angels are there doing it for you.
Yes, absolutely. Sandalwood is arching. This is. I don't want to confuse you all. You have your birth angels, and as you continue to grow in learning and in faith and in all these things, you get more angels assigned to you.
Oh, okay.
So when you smell sandalwood, that's Archangel Sandalphon, who in the Holy Bible of the Christian, he was a prophet who never died but was taken into heaven.
Mm.
But he did a lot of miracles in the Bible.
Wow.
And he was also known as John the Baptist, who was beheaded, who was also a relative of Jesus, Messiah. So that person is who you're smelling, or that angel is what you're smelling. That angel for you, when you smell that and you get that positive influence, that means your prayers have been answered.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That means I got a lot of answers during work because I always question it.
Pastor, so when you see the synchronicity, meaning your prayers are answered.
Yes.
Oh,
Or they're trying to give you a message to pay attention to something, be aware of something. But it's always, always, always positive. Always. You never see a synchronicity number that's negative, ever.
Good.
A lot of Christians go, 666, oh, that's the devil, that's evil. And I go, no, it has nothing to do with that. Way in left field with that thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
All
good.
right.
Okay.
Have a blessed.
good night.
Love you all.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.